Hey, do you want to know the number one big dream killer in consideration of starting your own business or buying a franchise? Stick around to this episode because that's what we're talking about today.
This is the Franchise Pitfalls and Profits Show. Each week, we bring you the challenges and triumphs of being in the franchise development and consulting business. The things you need to make money faster. And now your host, one of the most successful franchise developers in North America, Don Shin.
Hey, welcome back to Franchise Pitfalls and Profits, the show where we unpack what really holds people back from successful franchise ownership. We're in a 5-part series, section or part number 3, and I'm not only going to tell you what one of these hurdles is, but I'm also going to give you the solutions. I'm going to give you a way out. I'm going to share with you how to do it right. So this episode, again, is number 3 out of a 5-part series, very specifically about, if you're a franchise buyer, very specifically about what is holding you back from taking action. And if you're a franchise developer or a broker or a consultant, this is the kind of thing you need to know so you can help your candidates through it. So first thing we're going to talk about today, and the number one deal killer from the standpoint of, or number one thing that's real, that's a deal killer, that's a dream killer, is what I really am driving at, and that is analysis paralysis. You've probably heard that phrase before, and what it actually looks like in the franchising space is that, picture this: people have 10 tabs open to 10 different franchise concepts. They're downloading all kinds of guides to buy our franchise. They're listening in on all kinds of webinars, webinars about the specific brand, videos that they can watch of franchisees talking. Maybe these are even webinars like things that we do, which is how you can do a better job at buying and finding the franchise. Maybe there are articles and things posted about top franchises to own. These lists. The top 10 fastest growing, the top 10 best franchises to own in this economy, that kind of thing. But they haven't taken a single real step toward franchise ownership. They're saying things like, hey, I just need a little bit more time, or I just need to do a little bit more research, or they start, mind trashing themselves. What if I picked the wrong brand? And then a month later, what do we find them doing? 10 different tabs open, another article that they find, or registered for another webinar to attend. The root of this is what we talked about in the first episode, which really is fear of failure, fear of missing out, fear of making a wrong decision or some kind of a permanent mistake. But here's the truth: research doesn't equal progress. Taking some form of a next step toward ownership is what's really needed. So why is this happening? Why does this, kind of pent up fear make us so overwhelmed? Why do we do this to ourselves? Well, one valid thing is there's many choices. Maybe there's too many choices. Depending on what article you read, there's somewhere between 4 and maybe 5,000 different franchise concepts in the United States. So you know what? It's pretty stinking easy to get lost in all of the data, lost in all of the information. A second thing is information or informative overload, if you will. What do I mean by that? Everyone's got an opinion. The noise is deafening sometimes. And really a key point here to me is to beware of whose opinion are you actually listening to? Who are you getting advice from? I can't tell you how many times a candidate has told me or said to one of our consultants, who they got information from and what they heard. And guess what? That person hasn't, not only has never owned a franchise before, they have never even been in business for themselves before. They have no experience and no background in business ownership and what you're considering doing, but they have an opinion. So just beware of who you're getting information from. So causes to this overload is too many choices, information overload, and then last one is this tendency sometimes that we do or that we have, and that is um, to want everything to be perfect at the end of the day. People just think that there is this perfect franchise out there. I remember a gentleman I had worked with for about 4 or 5 months, and he got to a place where, boy, he just said, this is just the best thing I found. The brand was very excited, thought he was a really good candidate for them, and he said, Don, but maybe there's just one more thing out there I should look at, because I think that what if I'm missing a better opportunity? Well, I'm here to tell you there is no perfect franchise. What we're looking for and what we do here at Franchise Building Expert, what our consultants and our career advisors, career coaches are doing is we're looking for the right fit. And I'll be honest with you, there could be more than one right fit, but if we find the right fit, one of them you should go with. And that's our job often, is we're finding 2 or 3 things that really are the right fit, and you get to choose. They're all going to work out and they're all going to be good. So most people are just afraid that they're going to make the wrong choice, but not choosing. And here, boy, if you don't get anything out of today's episode but this, hear what I'm going to say. Not choosing is also a choice. And that choice is the one that guarantees nothing will be different in your life a year from now. And that, my friends, can be a real disaster. It's a pity that you let some of these things affect your strong decision-making capabilities. You let it affect your career, you let it affect your wealth building capability, and the overall freedom that it's going to give you and your family through franchise ownership. So please, please, please make a choice. Don't not choose, because that in essence is a choice. So what's the cost of this inaction? Well, a year from now, as I mentioned, you're still in the same job. Another thing is that dream of controlling your time, your income, having just being able to give back more to your community, to give back more to your family, it's still just a dream. Another point is that dream of being first in an area, in your area, bringing this opportunity to your community. Well, guess what? That opportunity just passed you by because somebody else took hold of the opportunity. Somebody else moved on it. So the cost of doing nothing is rarely talked about, but it's real. And I really wanted to get this point across to those of you who are considering starting a business through franchising. This cost of inaction, it's real and it adds up. And only you can determine what it means specifically to you. But it is going to cost you. This indecision is going to cost you. So how do you break out of the analysis paralysis? That's really where I want to go now. I hate to just highlight all of these challenges and things and not give you a way to break these strongholds. So one thing is to just get clear on what I call your filters. What matters to you? time commitment, lifestyle, investment levels, looking for a lot of support out of a franchise concept. Use those to eliminate 90% of your options. That's how we at Franchise Building Expert are going to work with you if you would call us. This is a big part of our process. It's a big part of our system. We find out what we call are the key factors, and we go find you the right fit, the franchises that fit the right factor. So we help you get clarity. Second thing is you want to limit your options. And this is another thing that our process does. We may start out with 4 or 5 industries that really fit you well. We may find 2 or 3 brands in each one of those industries. So we're literally looking at 8 or 10 or 12 options. But we help through our conversations with you, our gathering information with you, our interviews with you. We help get this down to 2 or 3 really strong fits. Not 10, not 20. Again, your advisors can help you through this process. So not only getting you clarity, but we're going to help you limit those options and find you the right fits. And then the last thing is just take the right next step. Take a next step. That might be booking a call with a franchise building expert. It could also be, if you're already doing some investigation, it could be booking another call with your development rep. Whatever it might be, it could be attending a discovery day. But if you are in the process, you come into the process with us, a big help is to simply look at what is next and take that right next step. So remember, forward motion will help you build clarity. You can't just wait for confidence to come. You have to build it up. And it's through action of gaining knowledge, working with advisors who can help you filter and sort through your information. And it's through that advisors that finding the right types of industries and the right specific brand that fits you. So now, that was all for buyers of franchises. But if you've been listening to this and you're a broker or you're somebody in the franchise development space, you're in that profession, I want you to listen really, really closely for the last couple of minutes. Your candidates don't need more data. Data is the logic. If you've heard me speak before or been on any one of my podcasts before, you'll know I talk about the importance of emotion, 80% of a sale being made on emotion and only 20% of it being made on logic. Your candidates don't need more logical reasons to buy. They've probably got plenty. They do need them, don't get me wrong, but they don't need more of them. Don't keep sending them PDFs. Don't keep using other industry jargon that you're trying to impress them with what you know about the industry. What they need is more clarity and confidence. They need more focus on those emotional things that are really going to be driving their decision. So you can ask them questions like, well, what are you afraid of? Ask them to revisit, well, why did you even start thinking about this in the first place? Get them to revisit why they're exploring business ownership. Maybe you want to just ask them, well, what would make you feel that this is a simpler thing to do and an easier thing to do? How can I help you translate this into something that will put you at greater ease? Maybe you want to talk about what's at stake. We talked about the rarely talked about costs of indecision. So maybe you want to work through with them. What's at stake if you don't do this? Where are you going to be a year from now? That is just a great question. Remember that one. What's at stake for you if nothing changes for you a year from now? What's at stake a year from now? And then lastly, another one could be what would need to be true for you to feel ready to move forward. That kind of complements that. Well, how can we explain this or make this simpler to help you make a better and an informed decision? So here's the challenge. You know, I love to give challenges. Anybody that's been coached with me or even in one of my sessions, one-on-one sessions or group sessions, any kind of training, I always like to leave you with a challenge. So here's the challenge this week. Take just one step. Do something to move your process forward. If you're the buyer, that could simply be to commit to making the phone call or the email check-in with franchise building expert to get you an advisor to chat with. If you're helping, if you're on that broker side or you're on that friend dev profession side, maybe you got to look at ways to simplify the path for your candidates. Maybe you need to ask them some of those questions if you feel they're getting off track or they're starting to ghost you or they're seeming to have an additional levels of fear. Find out what that one thing you can do for them that's going to help them, because clarity comes through movement to just one more step. It's not going to come from paralysis analysis or analysis paralysis. So thanks for your time. If you are getting value from the Franchise Pitfalls and Profits show, please like us, please subscribe so that you're always getting notices. And I look forward to having you back